Hi, this is a brief introduction to the Shadow and Light Retreat. Now, what does it mean, shadow and light? Well, first of all, light is something we are. Yes, it's a spiritual expression, I know, but light is actually that what makes our hearts open. It's our desire to love, it's our desire to contribute, to make a difference. And that's an essential part of who we are. But then there's also the shadow. And if we are not dealing with the shadow, then what happens is that we become a person that is kind of walking with one leg only. So the shadow is a Jungian term, and it means all our suppressed and repressed parts of who we are. Our fears, our desires, our temptations, the wish to do bad, the wish to be bad, like a child that wants to destroy something, like somebody who wants to be wild, someone who has a desire to do things differently. And often it shows up in our dreams, and often it shows up in our outer reality. We come into scenarios that represent what we are afraid of. So all that and much more represents what's called the shadow. Now, the shadow is a very good term because it means we cannot run away from it. So we got the light, we got the shadow, and the brighter the light, the darker the shadows. And I think you know what I'm talking about the shadows. But how can we deal with it? The Shadow and Light Retreat is an 8-day safe space where we go into theater, where we play out all the darkest parts of ourselves. Not being afraid, because it's such a safe environment, but it's the first time where I actually can connect to my rage, that I do not like how the world works, or that I have issues with my parents unresolved, or that I hate arrogant people, or that I abhor people who are lazy and weak, and that kind of personality in oneself. Usually we try to not deal with it. We try to fit ourselves into a perfect self-image and live by that, which makes us hypocritical, mediocre, life energy is wasted, and we are not feeling fully alive. So, in the Shadow and Light Retreat, what we're going to do is we're going to go in the first 5 days into the dark shadows, and then in the last 3 days we're going to go into our light. But first we need to deal with getting out of the way our fears. We meet our darkest sides and we discover, wow, it's actually not as dark as I thought. It's actually, wow, gives me energy, gives me the feeling of being whole. Do we need to become dark? Of course not. It's about owning that. It's about becoming a person like the yin and the yang, the inhale and the exhale, the night and the day. Who says what's good, what's bad? It's human judgment. And people are always surprised when they go there, where they think, oh my God, I can't go there. I cannot tell anybody what's really going on here, what I really think. People would not like me, people would reject me, people would think I'm weird. No, if you see that everybody carries a shadow and people are starting to open up and tell that, you see, oh my God, I'm not alone here, which is a very great insight. But then you need to have the courage to meet your shadow, to go there. And for that we have a shadow theater. In the shadow theater, we are performing scenes that you create in which you step into exactly that, what the shadow represents. And in that experience, what happens is the shadow gets integrated. In no other way it gets integrated. You can think about it, you can write it down, you can know it, you can try to meditate on it, but only in the presence of the reality of it, the isness of it, the here and now, in that heat, when it's embedded in a conscious environment, like we have it here, then the magic happens. Then you own the shadow, and with that you become a whole person. This is so beautiful to watch when it happens. We also have very, very challenging exercises. So if you think you don't have shadows and you come to a retreat, we put you in some exercises that are really, really pushing your buttons. And you want that, I know, because then you can work with it. Because usually you run away, you go into reaction, you hurt people and you hurt yourself and you do all these kind of things. But here, the button gets pushed, now you have a chance to work with it differently. Now you can really see what's going on and what is needed for you in order to have in this situation control and consciousness and awareness. The thing is that you cannot run away from the shadow. So if you want to turn your life around, if you want to make your life more flowing into a direction where not so much resistance and opposition hits you all the time, when you want to feel in your body really great, you need to go into your shadows. What you can own inside stops owning you. What you can embrace inside stops dominating you. What you can really be with lets you be. These are principles that are so essential. But in the head, it doesn't work. You need to really go into the shadows live.